In today's lecture, we will see how to populate drop down with data from the database, and later on how to use the same drop down to edit the values, edit the drop down values. Actually, we want to create a page similar to this one that we will use to add a new product to our database. The product table, the fields of the product table are product ID. It's an auto number field, so we don't need any input control to get the value of product ID from the user. The rest of the fields are category ID, name, description, unit price, and image. Category ID is an integer field, but the problem is that if I want to enter a product against a category, I should know the ID of that category, which are these IDs that we have already entered in the database. It's not a good idea to remember the IDs. Instead, what I want is that we should display the user the name of categories in a drop down. The user should pick up the name, and the respective ID should be sent from the form to the save product page. I mean, again repeating it, that it's not a good idea to create a text box here in which the user has to enter a category ID, because user will not remember categories. Instead, it's easier for the user to select a name from these category names, and when the user select a name, the respective category ID should be sent from this form to the next page for processing. Now, to implement this functionality, we have to add a drop down. The drop down will display name of categories in the drop down, and when the user select a name, there's the corresponding category ID should be sent from this form. So let's see how we can implement this drop down. This is the add product page. Just like add category page, it has a form with text boxes and controls for entering name, description, unit price, and a file control for choosing an image file for the product. This is fairly simple. Form, it will use post method to send form data to save product page. It has a name text box by the name to receive the name of the product. Then it has a drop down. The name of the drop down is cat ID, and in which we want to display name of all the categories from the categories table in the database, and we will see it in a short while because this code is implemented here. Then we have a multiple line text box or a text area control by the name description to get description of the product from the user, another text box by the name unit price, and a file upload control or file control by the name image to get the product image. Now, right now we will focus on this part. Now, I have created a variable by the name categories. The categories variable will have the option tags. The option tags are used to display the values in the drop down. The syntax of option tag is option and inside the option tag, let's say I want to display the category name, suppose laptops. Now if I write an option tag like this, the laptop will be shown in the drop down, and when user will select on the laptop and press the and submit the form, the string laptop, the value laptop will be sent from the form to the server. But I want the ID corresponding to this category name laptop to be transferred. So in that case we will use the value property, and inside the value we will enter the category ID of this category name. So let's say the category ID of laptop is 1. Similarly, for the next category, suppose the next category is mobiles, and suppose the category ID is 2. Now I want to add these values in the drop down, these option tags in the drop down, and the number of option tags should depend on the number of categories entered in saved in the category table. So it means I have to pick the category name and these names and their values from the database. So that's why I have written this code. I have established a connection with the database server. Then I have written the query select category ID and name, because category ID and name, because we only need these two fields from the category table. Category ID the value of category ID should be entered in the value field, value property, and the name, category name will be entered between the opening and closing option tags. Okay, now we will send the query to the server. We will receive the result. The result will contain all the category ID, the names of categories saved in the category table in the database. I have initialized this categories variable to empty string. In this categories variable I will store all these option tags. Now I will loop over all the rows that I have received from the database. At index 0 of the row is the category ID, so I have saved category ID in cat ID field and name in the name field, and then I have created an option tag and saved it in the categories table. This dot is a concatenation operator. So basically what does it do? It will in the first iteration it is categories is an empty string, so this string will be concatenated to the empty string. But in the second iteration the new option tag will be added to the previous option tag, and similarly in the third iteration the third option tag will be concatenated or appended to the previous two option tag. So when the loop will when this loop will be over, the categories variable will have all the option tags saved in it, one for each category we have fetched from the database. So here option value is equals to category ID and name. So category ID is going in the value property and name is being saved in the closing and opening option tags. So this will exactly create this string, and then I have filled the space occupied by result variable, and I have closed the connection, and here I have echoed the value of categories variable between the opening and closing select tag. We know that the select tag is used to create a drop down field, and size of 1 minute will appear as a drop down. If I change the size from 1 to any other value, it will be shown as a list box. Okay, so now let's check this. Let's check out the source of this page. See here, you have these, we have got these option tags. This is the first tag, laptop. This is the second tag, this is the third tag. The first tag has category laptops with value 1, second has tag option tag has mobiles with value 2, and so on. Now let's see. Okay, when the user will submit this form, we know how to receive the value of form field. We use $_request and then the control name. So to receive the value of name text box, we will write $_request name. We will see how to receive the value of this drop down. The syntax is same. Then $_request name of our drop down field, and we will receive the value with this, and we can save it in any variable we want in the PHP. So the name of this select tag or drop down tag is cat id. That's why it is request cat id, and I have saved this in a variable by the name $cat id. This cat id is the name of this select field, and this cat id is the name of a PHP variable. These two are different, so the value will be fetched from here and saved in the PHP variable that we can use in our safe product code. Rest of the code, we will receive the value of other field in a similar way, and rest of the code is fairly simple, fairly similar to safe category page. You have to implement it yourself, but while implementing it, for the time being, skip the image part, because right now we have not discussed and studied how to upload a file and how to save the file name or file itself in the database field. We will cover it in a future lecture. Now we will see that if we have to create in an edit product page, it means that we will receive a product ID from view product page, just like we received category ID from view category page. The edit product page will receive the product ID. It will fetch all the fields, all the product fields against that product ID from the database table, from the product table. So here it is. I have received the product ID. Initially I have declared these 4 variables, and I have initialized them with the default values. So category ID is assigned value 0, name, description are assigned empty string, then unit price is again assigned the value 0. This category field is again to store option values for the drop down field. First of all, I have executed this query, which will send product ID, which will get category ID, name, description and unit price for those products whose product ID is received from the previous page. If we have received the record, we will store the values received from the database in our PHP variables. So category ID, name, description, unit price will be received. We will feed the result. Before displaying the form, I want to create the values of drop down, just like we created the values for drop down in the add product page. So this code from this line to this line is the same, except this part. The only difference here is that while editing the product, if the category ID that user selected, if the category that user selected while entering the product name was, suppose, mobiles, so when we present the form for editing a product, the drop down should be filled with all the values of the categories from the database, but the category against category ID whose value is whose name is mobile should appear selected by default. To show a value as selected, we use the selected property inside the option tag. So what I have done is we receive the category ID against the product whose PID was received from the previous page. Now instead of displaying this category ID to the user, I want the category name against this category ID to be shown as selected in our drop down. So what I have done is I have compared this category ID with this category ID. Where these two category IDs match, it means that value should be shown as selected. So that's why I have, if this matches with this, categories will contain option value category ID, then the word selected, property selected, then name in the option. And if the category ID does not match with the category ID we have received in this loop, we will simply create this option tag in which the selected keyword is missing, selected property is missing, and save it in the categories table. So when this loop will be over, I will have all the option tags, and the one in which the category ID matches with the category ID of the product record, that category name will be selected. To check this out, in the later on we will just echo the value of variable names, PHP variable name, in the respective value property of input tags. So in case of name, it will be echo name. For the drop down select tag, we will display the category just we did in the add product page, and so on for description, unit price. Right now we are not working on image tag, we will do it later on. To test this out, as I have not written the save product page, so let's add value in the product table ourselves. Insert. So suppose we enter a category ID. This new version of PHPMyAdmin shows you the drop down itself. This is what exactly I want. So let's say we enter the category ID 2. Let's say the product name is Samsung S10. Description XYZ. Price, let's say the price is 60,000. Okay, let's leave the image for now. One row inserted. So now if we browse the record, we have one product entered with category ID 2. This is how the record is actually saved in the database. We have category ID, we don't have category name here, and this is linked to the category table, and we fetch the name from the category table. Now, so the category ID, product ID is 1. Now I want to edit this. Edit product.php, and we pass it PID is equals to 1. So see, it has displayed name. Oh, there is an error here. It should be the category name, not the product name. So again, there is some the issues here. In this loop, I have saved the category ID in cat underscore ID variable and category name in cat underscore name table. This name variable has the name of product, so we should replace these with these. Cat ID, this is an error here, and cat name should be replaced by. Now let's rerun this. So see, the mobile is shown as selected by default. Otherwise, the first value is always shown as selected by default. So this is how we create a drop down, and we use a drop down in our we display the drop down for editing. Okay. We will, in the next video, we will cover how to save and read back the value of checkboxes. Thank you.